J-Train, we have some breaking news. Vladimir Putin is undergoing an emergency surgery. He has a parasite that has connected itself inside his anal cavity. It has been described as orange, 81 years of age, and it is slowly going all the way inside his ass. What do you say about that?
Sounds like the other way around. That sounds
Putin's up
backwards to
Trump's
me.
ass. I think it's Trump is like,
God, yeah.
here's Putin's butthole.
That
This is
hand,
Trump right here.
that hand is the marionetting, or that hand.
Here's Putin's butthole, and I'm Trump.
I don't know, man. So for those who don't have the reference, was it yesterday? Oh my gosh, so much has happened. So yesterday, Trump is at the White House, I guess it was, meeting with all the European leaders and Zelensky trying to figure out what they're gonna do about Russia. And Trump's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'll be right back. Do, 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 do. Hey, Putin, guess what they're saying? He literally stopped talking to the foreign dignitaries in the White House on US soil for a conference he called on behalf of Zelensky, and they went and told Putin everything. Like, oh my God.
I didn't hear that, Jonathan. What? So he left this meeting and went and called his buddy Putin. What did he tell him? What does the reporting say?
You would not, well, we don't know. It's a private call.
Oh
It's
shit!
not recorded.
Did you hear that
I mean,
hot
it's
mic
supposed to be
moment where he
recorded
was
or
caught
classified.
beforehand? He was caught beforehand saying,
Oh,
I think he's gonna make a deal with me. I think he's gonna make."
well, I think that's okay. So the takeaway I had for that, I was listening to another, I think it was Adam Mockler or somebody like that was talking about it. And he basically said, yeah, it really frames up Trump's perspective on this. And I want to go back to an earlier point I made like a while ago that some psychologists come up with is Trump doesn't see the presidency all the time as him running the free world or him running the most powerful or second most powerful or whatever country in the world. He sees it as like a game show. He sees it as like this. He's trying to get all his people in place. Trump didn't say, I think I can get Putin to make a deal on Ukraine. He didn't say, I think I can get Putin to make a deal with Zelensky. No, no, no. He said, I think I can get him to make a deal with me. And it's all about him. Him. Me. And if you look at pretty much everything Trump's ever done, me. I did this. I did that. I did this. I. It's
Have you heard
classic
the rhetoric
narcissistic
from the
behavior.
MAGA party
So
coming out
that
about the meeting? They were kind of praising it, saying, our
the
president's
perfect
going to
meeting.
make peace. He's going to go make peace with Putin. And what blows my fucking mind is that if you want two countries to stop fighting each other, you got to get them together and talk about it. And the way Trump is, he should have had both of them in the meeting. And if he is how he say he is, like Putin, this is what you need to do. Zelensky, this is what you need to do. And if you don't do that, I'm not helping either one of you or something like that. I
Uh,
don't know. He
It's
postured
even
the way he postured is not how he acts when he gets in those meetings. He's a bitch. He's Trump's little bitch every time he gets into a situation where he's making a deal with Putin. And he didn't get anything from this deal. They were supposed to go.
but
We
that's not
didn't get
even like
anything from the meeting with Putin except we got to look horrible on the
if
world
you
stage
actually
like
look
normal.
at the video.
The what?
If you look at the video, when he first saw Putin, if you look at the video of the like the different things that they did, all the different video things they did, like when Trump was waiting on the red carpet for Putin to walk up on his red carpet,
Yeah.
it was giddy, he was clapping, he was bouncing, he was excited to see his hero. You don't do that for the guy that has been kidnapping kids and has been convicted of war crimes. Anyway, he was a giddy. And if you look at him at the end when they did that press conference, it was sullen head, looked like Putin, I can't take another one up the butt. Like it was classic defeatist attitude and stance. And he's like, I don't want to take questions. Like it looked like he went through the ringer and he got read the riot act. A lot of people are speculating that Epps' list came up and Trump was told, I got your list. I got the list. I got your life in my hands right here, bud. And Trump felt defeated and walked away because he thought he was beating his hero and he thought he was going to get something. And he got turned over, whatever. And he looked horribly defeated. And that's why his cabinet team was in shock and awe and scared and all those reports, right?
And they're doing damage
So he
reports. They're
walked
just
in
doing
there
damage
thinking
control.
he could get, hey, Putin, how about we do this? And then this is what I came up with. It's like, that neglecting parent that you show your homework artwork to, and then as a
They don't
kindergartner
care.
they rip it in half, that feeling, right?
Right.
And then Putin walked away like a fucking champ. If you look at his face and how he spoke, like he owned Trump through that whole thing. So now fast forward to what was it, yesterday or today or whatever. And here he is meeting with the world leaders. He can't find one of them. He talks shit about stuff that he doesn't understand about mail in voting. He talked to somebody about having to need a license plate to vote, a
Oh,
license
yeah, I heard that
plate.
breakdown this morning too. And I heard so
And
this is
like,
what I heard
he
from
couldn't
the
see the
reporting in
guy
that
sitting right in front of him.
is that Trump came out and announced that mail-in voting he did it again. He announced that mail-in voting leads to corrupt elections or whatever because Putin said that to him in this meeting or whatever. But in
I don't
Russia,
think he
they
did.
allow
I think
mail-in
that's
voting.
all bullshit.
Well, either even if it
Yeah.
wasn't.
And Trump has done mail-in voting himself. There's been multiple reports of him mailing in his vote in, like, all the elections.
Right.
Like, he mails in his vote. He went on a tour and talked about, "Please get your vote in, mail it in." He's talked about, like, "Please mail in your votes." He's talked about all this stuff before. This abrupt change is the start of the next pattern, which is the denial of voting, which is what they're moving towards. I told you they didn't wanna have elections in 2026 or anytime before then, because if they do, they're going to lose. And that's what Newsom's been doing is the redistricting of the Democratic friendly states is going to significantly change the power balance because, they're trying to reverse the effects of the gerrymandering from like Texas and all that kind of stuff. Well, Republicans know, hey, that we can't win in 2026. And you've heard Mike Johnson and others go up and being interviewed or in press conferences and they said, "Oh my God, this is so bad. Guys, you don't understand. If the Democrats win, Trump's going to get impeached." And it's like, well, hold on. He's in the Epstein list, and 70% of the country wants him impeached now. Like, this is the will
So
of the people. And I've
we
been
the
looking at
people want him impeached is what we are saying, right?
we the people. 70% of the US wants him out. And if you actually go and look at the breakdown, even here in North Carolina, there's more Democrat voters in North Carolina than Republican. We're a purple state as the line's so close, but technically, based on the number of voters, you would think the seats would be closer, but it's like a 60-40 ratio, 60 for Republican because of the gerrymandering in the state. It's crazy. Now, it's not representative of the people and the votes that are here. Now, you can take into different things like, oh, well, maybe not many Democrats voted, but no, actually, if you really go back and look at it, it was like 30, 30, 30, 33%, 33%, 33%, or in that ballpark. It was pretty close across multiple states. But if you look at how the districting happened, it really aligned to one party or another based on who was in charge of that party or which party was in charge of the voting in that area. This is why Newsom's like, if you guys are going to gerrymander the shit out of Texas and other states, screw you. We're going to do that too and wipe you out. So when he said he had a thing to end Trump's career, that's what he's talking about. He's talking about if they gerrymander to full Democratic seats across the board in California, and then New York and Washington and other states all do that, the Democratic heavy states, then even if the Republicans could go back the other way, they could, depending on how voting turns out, lose the House and the Senate. And that's it. Trump will get impeached. And honestly, fuck him. But anyway, so now Trump's
Impeachments
got this
doesn't
new
matter. He
plan
got
because his
impeached
people are
twice the
like,
last presidency, and it didn't
votes.
even do anything. Impeaching doesn't do anything.
Okay, so for those who don't understand, one side impeaches, the other side votes removed. So the House impeaches, the Senate removes. So the House voted to impeach, but because the Senate was controlled by Republicans, they did not vote either of those times to remove Trump from office. If you look at Bill Clinton, he was impeached. But because of how long it was that he had left in his term, they felt it would be bad for the country,
To
given
remove
his
him?
level of possible danger, because all he did was lie about having sex with Monica Lewinsky.
It was a blowjob.
Anyway, because of that, they were like, "Well, let's not kick it. Let's not remove him. We'll let him finish it out. We're only a few months away. Just be done with it." But
Bill
here
Clinton
we got
already
three and a
finished,
half
if you know what I
years, and
mean.
he's already all right. So focus. So now the Democrats are like, "All right, cool. We got a plan to fight you. You're going to gerrymander. We're going to fight fire, fire." And between that, and Newsom's text messages influencing how not text messages, sorry, tweets with the trolling the MAGA party, which I think is absolutely hilarious, and the consequences of how they're reacting is hilarious too.
Let's look through
I'm
some.
happy to get into this and the transference. No, no, let's not get off topic yet. So now Republicans have said, okay, we can't win with our standard tactics of cheating and gerrymandering this way. So what if we just got rid of votes altogether? So, what if we said no electronic voting whatsoever? What if we said no mail in voting? What if we reduced hours and reduced locations in Democratic areas so that they can't go vote? If you look at the Democratic area of Georgia, they had a line, what was it, like a mile and a half long to get into the voting place, and people didn't get to vote because they shut down so many of the voting areas in their Democrat heavy district that people couldn't vote. And then on top of that, during the big election, Russia was found to have called in bomb threats to numerous Democrat heavy voting districts and shut them down for hours while police investigated the bomb threat. And that like helped them over the line. And if you think about all the stuff they did between burning votes and dumping votes, because those are documented, there was numerous cases where Republican mailmen and Republicans in general were stealing, burning, destroying votes. There's been multiple reports of like vote fixing and all this kind of stuff. There's a lot of content out there about how the machines may have been hacked or modified or the data transmitted was wrong because statistically the votes don't make sense in a lot of the swing states. There's just so much information about how they may have cheated to have only won by the margin that they did, which is really small, not even 10%, shows that there's a real possibility that had none of that cheating happened, they wouldn't have won. So now let's look at it back. Like, okay, now you got 70% of the country mad. You have Americans across the whole thing scared, mad, hurting, realizing they've been lied to. I just read a report today. Corporate bankruptcies are higher now, and that's only been in the last 7 months that this has exploded, than it was during COVID. Like, COVID was less impactful to, the economy than fucking what Trump is doing with tariffs and all this kind of stuff, and some of these deals, like the 15% tariff outbound for NVIDIA and Intel? Was that the other one? Intel? Those are technically constitutionally illegal based on everything I'm seeing. Like, they're just it's just wiping their ass with the Constitution. So now they're talking about removing people's abilities to vote. They're going to make it harder to vote. They're trying extra ways to cheat. But then Trump makes a joke yesterday with Zelensky, like, you mean if you're at war, you don't have to have elections? He goes, well, our country doesn't. We want to. It's just like, well, their constitution is different than ours. Ours requires it. By law, you're required. And by law, you're supposed to provide a way for every human being registered in our country that is legally allowed to vote to be able to vote. And what they're doing a lot of these times is just illegal. But he keeps saying things like, well, mail in voting is not secure. But I was like, well, let's look at this. Mail in voting happens in almost every single major country, first world country in the world. That's just normal. And we've had it for forever. So audits have been done, everything's been done. Most of almost every single voter fraud thing has been somebody double dipping, which, yeah, is illegal. Take them down. A lot of those were Trumpies or people that were like burning or stealing or corrupting actual votes. And a lot of those were MAGAs. Like almost every, I don't think I've heard of one Democrat breaking a voting law in the last 20 years or something. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sure they're out there, but the biggest incidences were Trumpers, were definitely MAGAs, like the fake mail-in boxes or the issue they had around here where a MAGA official went around to all of the old folks' homes and said, I will turn these in for you, redid them in favor of Trump, and then submitted them. And that's voter fraud. So the biggest cases, the absolute biggest cases of voter fraud that have resulted in actual jail time, MAGA. So,
Indeed.
like, what are they like? If that's not the will of the people, guys. So now Trump's thinking, oh, maybe I can start a war. So now what's he doing? He's drawing up battle plans to attack Mexico under the guise of the cartels are bad and fentanyl. Like, come on, guys. He just made a deal with the cartel and let 12 of them in because they paid off his black gold visa thingy. So technically, if you go look it up, cartel members from Mexico got legal status through the Trump negotiations and are now residing within our borders because they got money. So it ain't about the cartels. And if it was really about the cartels, if it was really an issue, why wouldn't we work with the Mexican authorities to help figure this out? But if we're at war with Mexico in 3.5 years and he thinks he can just shut down the voting, that's an option. Or maybe he'll do it next year, maybe these battle plans will start in January so that they can disrupt the elections next year.
Maybe that's why the military and the
So, yeah,
National Guard is in our
anything to
cities.
take out your legal right to vote. Okay, so yeah, that's a whole thing. And it's out anyway. The
Let
I
it
sent
out,
you an article.
Jonathan.
Do you still have that
What
about the
is what
police
is on your
officer?
mind? Tell me everything.
So I was thinking about that conversation we had about the 30% of those being deported actually have criminal records. And the argument was always made, well, they're here illegally, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, some of those people are here illegally because the Trump administration revoked their citizenship or revoked their legal status or revoked their I'm blanking the thing where they come here for protection because their country's hostile,
Yeah.
sanctuary law stuff. Anyway,
So
so there was an article that came out either today
asylum.
or yes today about asylum. Yeah, asylum seekers. So there was a thing that came out today, I think it was, an article I sent you about a cop in what was it, Vermont or New Hampshire is getting deported. He's a
Mhm.
cop, he's law enforcement. He swore an oath to protect our country and our people. No record, no issue. Active police officer is getting deported.
Yeah.
This is not about getting rid of criminals. When
No.
you're deporting a police officer who's protecting our country or a military, and I've heard about multiple military service people getting deported. They came here and somehow they got into the military and they served years and they've been here for like 40 years. They're getting deported. It's not about criminals anymore. This is about them getting rid of brown people and black people. That's all it is. And if you're
I was
deporting
talking on the
cops and
podcast. If you guys are
ex-military that
podcast
serve
listeners,
this nation, horseshit.
go back 2 episodes and listen to the episode where I debate my drummer from Days 11. This was 2 nights ago. We got into a 45-minute almost yelling match. I posted it this morning. I haven't promoted it yet. But go check out that debate with me and my drummer. We got into a heated battle for like 45 minutes about immigration because he's on the side of he's not a Trump supporter, it doesn't claim to be, but he is a conservative and upholds all of those values. And to me, the argument was just like having an argument with a MAGA person. Like he was expelling all the same MAGA talking points, accusing me of expelling all the same left wing talking points.
Well, yeah.
Was it? We didn't get anywhere in the conversation, but it was interesting to see the dynamic of two opposing views like that. Anyway, I wanted to bring that up because we were just talking about the immigration thing, and I'm gonna have him on. Creative ideas I had is I want to get him on and you on, and I want to play the moderator just in the middle and like make some claims and have a real debate on the Almost Above Average podcast. I think that would be awesome if I can convince him to do it because I know when we get upset at each other, it sucks. But at the end of it, it was still love. I was like, I still love you to death, man. I would love to keep doing this kind of stuff where I can have this opposite opinion on the podcast because I think that kind of the voice is important because we're all Americans here. But what I didn't like,
There's a really
I
cool
just don't
concept that
understand
I heard
how
about.
they can watch all the
There's a really
deportations
cool
that are
concept I
happening in
heard
this
about
country
recently.
without a feeling and be standing up for that
Can you hear me?
because it's a law that they are now criminals. Like that is the whole argument. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Immigration is a whole ball of wax I'd happily spin into, but maybe we do that next time.
Okay.
But there's a concept I wanted to bring up: strong opinions held loosely, or strong opinions held tightly. And the difference is, it's okay to have a strong opinion, but your willingness to hear somebody out, think about what they're saying, instead of just going, that doesn't align, and then rejecting it, is the difference between gaining knowledge and learning versus being an obstinate asshole in my mind.
Right.
And I'm happy to listen to people's alternate ideas because I don't think the best idea comes only from one person. The best idea comes from multiple people working together and coming with what's best by putting what's best above their own personal opinions or their own glory and their own vindication. So when it comes to like how to fix immigration or how to fix the economy, like I don't know anybody that has every single answer and can just go, here it is. This is what we do. We need to
Right.
figure it out together. And same thing with AI and all this kind of stuff. There's things that need to be done. There's a variety of different ways, multiple ways to skin the cat, some people might say. And it's just about finding the right one and working with it. And sometimes the perfect one for you is not the perfect one for somebody else, but maybe there's one that you can both share and get you to a better place instead of finding out which one's the best. So that's important. Before we got off the dump truck train, I wanted to talk about the thing that happened on Fox and Friends, the Trump going to heaven comment.
You want to? Is there a
And
clip?
I
You want to pull
couldn't
a clip of
stand it.
that up?
He goes, Yeah, I sent you the link. There should be a video with it too.
What was the thing again? He wants to go to heaven?
I want to try and get to heaven, Fox and Friends. So anyway, I can just recap it real fast. So
Sure.
he's meeting with all these people in his cabinet, and he starts talking about going to heaven. He goes, "I want to go to heaven. A lot of people don't think I can get to heaven. They think I'm way down that list. But I
Yep,
think I'm going to
we
try.
do.
I think I'm going to
We
try to
do
go to
think you're way
heaven."
down on that list, Donald Trump. Don't ever forget it. We all think you're a huge
And
garbage
then,
piece of shit.
well, what's redemption in the face of God? I don't know. Like, can he be redeemed? I guess that bases on your religion and your philosophy. But yeah, if you're going to continue assaulting women and having affairs and getting people killed out of greed and living within greed, and then he talked a bit about gold leafing parts of the room and had like a survey. It's like this guy's going senile so fast. So here he has the leaders of the country in a room, and the two major topics that came out of it were he hopes he can go to heaven and should they gold leaf the trim in the room. I'm like, what timeline are we in? Like, how? What? He just met with
Here.
Zelensky and the and the European leaders. Like, what?
So there's some guilt involved there. If you're questioning yourself on whether or not you're going to get admitted to heaven, you've got some guilt going on there. And I'm surprised. I did not think Donald Trump had it within him to possess guilt. I didn't realize that a psychopath could possess guilt. So that's new. I'm proud. I'm proud of
Well,
you.
when you're staring down death, a lot of people get religion.
Yeah, me too.
That's the old
Actually,
adage, right? Everybody waits until they're about to die to start finding God.
that's how I found God.
But I did want to point out something I thought was hilarious about this. If he actually had read the Bible and studied the Bible and gone to church like he told everybody he did, if he was actually the real Christian that he was supposed to believe to be, he would know that whole thing was horseshit.
Yeah, and how lazy do you gotta be?
That there
He's
was
been
no
asked about the
way
Bible
he was
for
going to go to heaven
decades
after
now,
the
and if
sins
you
he
can't
committed.
get enough time together to crack open the book and learn a passage or a verse and a chapter or something, like knowing you're president of the United States, you're gonna get asked about your religion, your belief system, all that stuff. Crack open the book, memorize a thing or two so you don't look like a freaking bump on a log when you get up to the microphone, dumb shit. What else is on the agenda, Jonathan? Did I lose you? Of
So going to hell, fake
course.
Christian,
Oh, yeah.
Trump's puppet, and failed on Ukraine and made us look like idiots. Nope. I
And
think it
don't
was a
forget,
successful
he's
couple of
still
days.
covering up the child sex traffickers. He is still doing that. Do not forget about Epstein. I'm
Oh
sounding
my
like Dan
gosh.
Bongino right now. Holy shit. Do not
And
forget
anybody
about the
who's
Epstein files, guys. This is going to be serious. This is going to be huge. Don't let anybody
I'm being
let
honest
you
with you,
forget about
Ghislaine
the
Maxwell
Epstein files.
survived.
Huh?
In all fairness, Ghislaine Maxwell has survived longer than I thought she was going to.
Shit, we already beat your prediction.
Yeah,
Hey, what are
I'm
the predictions
impressed.
out there? Let's take some bingo in the comments. How long is Ghislaine Maxwell going to make it? Does she finish out her life in a minimum security prison, or is an accident incoming? What do you think? Let me know what you think in the comments. Either way, I'm Chris
I mean,
McIntyre. That is
technically, that'd
J
still be
Train.
finishing out her life.
Right.
That'd still be finishing out her life either way.
All right, John.
um,
Take us out of here, man.
my next prediction is hold on. My next prediction is Trump's going to get Zelensky and Putin to meet, and nothing's going to happen. And then Russia's going to double down using Chinese and North Korean fighters to have a new barrage on Ukraine. That's my guess.
That's your guess? I still think that there's something that's going to come up where Russia or where Putin asks for Russia back from Trump and Trump kind of gives it to him. I see that coming up.
Alaska?
Yeah. Just because it has ties to Russia and how close they are, how much ass he's kissing.
MAGA, will that actually get you guys to break with the orange fake Jesus if he tries to give Alaska back? Because he's already floated that. He's already talked about that. He talked about
Jonathan, they
giving
do
mineral
not care
rights
about
for
child
Alaska to
child sex
Russia.
trafficking. They're not going to give a shit about Alaska. If they don't care about the cover up of child sex traffickers, they're not going to give a fuck about Alaska. Or prove me wrong, MAGA, in the comments.
Okay.
Do you care about
I want
covering up
every
child sex traffickers?
I want every MAGA, I want everybody out here watching that supports Trump. Put in the comment, what's the line for you? At what point do you say, screw this, he's got to go? Giving up our country, covering up child sex trafficking,
Cheating on his wife?
destroying our economy,
All of his
killing your
wives?
neighbor. Like, what's the line here?
Racism?
Does it have to
What
come
is it?
for you? Does he have to come for you? Because he's already doing it.
Dishonesty? Any of these align for you?
He's already floating, taking away guns from Americans.
Isn't that a Democrat thing? Shouldn't the Democrats be doing that?
Let's look at this, being honest. Everything that he said Kamala's going to do, he's already done.
Interesting. All right.
Anyway,
Well, let's do it
Alright,
again tomorrow. We'll see what
do your
fresh
research,
hell comes. Huh?
vote if you can. Good luck.
Good luck. Grab your popcorn. We'll still be here tomorrow, trying to break down all the craziness in this administration. I'm not going to say our administration. I did not vote for this shit. But anyway, I'm Chris McIntyre. That is J Train McGee.
You live here.
Vote.
That's it.
Hit subscribe. Thank you. Peace.